In the martial art Aikido, the way of harmony, students spend years learning intricate techniques. But in a real confrontation, what saves you are the basics, the stance, the posture, breath, balance. The same is true in non-reactive intelligence. When life triggers us through words, criticisms, arguments, or judgments, we don't need advanced theory. We need simple practice responses that become second nature. Here are the NRI basics. Anchoring, mirroring, setting boundaries, and knowing when to exit. These 4 steps are not complicated, but they are powerful. They retrain the nervous system to respond with presence instead of panic. The emptying path and non-reactive intelligence were written to help undo the imprints of reactivity and to cultivate invincible presence. And through NRI present circles, we now have ways to practice with others these basic techniques so that they become the stance, the breath, the posture, the balance, and the movement of daily life. If words, judgments, and arguments have ever left you shaken, these basics offer you a clear, steady ground to return to. In this episode of Listening Presence, I want to introduce what I now call the Temple Codex. For me, it is the heart of non-reactive intelligence, a small, simple set of practices that anyone can learn and carry with them. I've distilled it into 4 steps, and it can be remembered by the word AMBE. Anchor, mirror, boundaries, and exit. These are the basics we can use in everyday conversations where reactivity usually takes over. The Temple Codex is not theory or debate. It is practice. It is presence. And it is a way to rewire the nervous system. This episode is for anyone who longs for clarity, simplicity, and freedom in the face of words, judgments, and opinions. Throughout these listening presence reflections, we've explored many dimensions of presence, reactivity, and healing. Each episode builds upon the emptying path and non-reactive intelligence, forming a living library, a playlist that others can use to rewire their own nervous systems or to guide present circles in their communities. In this episode, I want to share what has now become a turning point in my own journey, what I call the Temple Codex. A codex in ancient times was a bound collection of essential teachings, something to be preserved and lived by. For me, the temple is the inner stillness where presence resides, and the codex is a small, simple set of practices that can be repeated until they become second nature. The Temple Codex is summed up in 4 movements. I call it AMBE. Anchor. This means to pause, breathe, and remind yourself hooks will always be cast, and I will not bite. Mirror. Instead of reacting, practice learning how to reflect calmly. For example, I hear you. This feels important to you. Boundaries. Whenever pressure begins to escalate in a confrontation or an encounter, hold steady and learn to say, I respect your feelings and I need to live by my own truth. And finally, exit. If the words keep spiraling, step away with grace. Do not engage. You can say something like, let's return to this later. This is not a theory or a debate. It is a living practice. And the Codex is a compass for learning to stay grounded in conversations where most of our wounds and triggers arise. It offers a way to carry presence into the places where reactivity usually takes over. Words, judgments, and opinions. By weaving AMBE into daily life and into NRI present circles, we create a reproducible path, not a belief system, but a set of embodied tools. These circles and this playlist are meant as training grounds for anyone who longs to anchor presence in themselves and to help others step beyond reactivity and into invincible presence. The Temple Codex, AMBE. When hooks are cast across the air, I breathe, I pause, I will not bite. The storm may shout, the voices flare, but presence stands, both calm and bright. Anchor holds me, steady ground. Mirror shows what I can see. Boundaries keep my wholeness sound. Exit guards serenity. So when the world would pull me in, its endless games, its fiery spin, I turn to AMBE, clear and true, and presence lives in all I do. Peace be with you.